What you're looking at here is part of my tower for my wind turbine. And the main leg comes down into a T, and then the T goes into two 90-degree angles and then goes straight down into the ground. But what I did is I dug a hole, filled it with cement, and then put the two down pipes down in the cement to anchor it solid in the ground. And then if you notice, it comes up and it's attached to the side of the house there, and it's attached at the roof peak there, and then it goes on up. Now that's the simple way to install a tower for a wind turbine in your home. But now originally I bought a 800 watt wind turbine, and it wasn't producing any power for me. So logic would state that you need a bigger output. So then I opted for a 1400 watt wind turbine, and I installed that and still wasn't happy with my output. I sent the turbine back, I sent the alternator back, and they tested it and said it was working perfectly. Well, they didn't really explain anything, and I started calling around, and come to find out that the PMAs, even though they had a high output, the problem is the wind had to be blowing at about, to charge a battery you have to have about 13.3 or 4, 5 volts, and their claim was that they were putting out 12 volts at like about 12 mile an hour. So technically, to charge a battery, I needed about 15, 16, 17 mile an hour wind, and you just don't get that kind of wind speed, not here in Arkansas. So I got checking around, and I found out that what I really needed was a super low speed PMA. Now my PMA I have now only puts out 500 watts, but it produces 12 volts as low as 6 mile an hour wind. So 7 or 8 mile an hour wind, I'm making 13 volts. I'm charging a battery super low wind speed. So technically I'm making more power with a 500 watt PMA than I was with a 1400 watt PMA. Just because I'm making more usable power. Now I could settle for a 1400 watt PMA, but I'd only be making usable power if the wind was only blowing 20-25 mile an hour. It's not that often that it blows 20 or 25 mile an hour, except in storms here. So I opted for the low speed PMA, and I'm very happy with it. And yeah, I know I'm not making the 1400 watts. Technically I'm only making 400 and 500 watts, but I'm making 400 and 500 watts of usable power at a much lower wind speed, if you understand that. So I was thinking about not getting a wind turbine, but I got thinking that the sun doesn't shine all the time in Arkansas. You have days that are cloudy. You have periods of rain, clouds, last 6, 7, 8 days. So I wanted to be able to charge my batteries with a different source than just the sun. And so that's why I opted for this wind turbine. I hope this information was helpful. Thank you.